Good Monday morning to you. It is yet another Money Mondays here at the Business of Apparel. I feel like I'm getting to spend a lot of really good time with you over the last couple of months, like really getting these out into the world. Today's money topic is maybe not really about money, but I've been seeing a lot of stuff pop up in my feed recently about like how much money you need to be considered wealthy and, what's the number that you need in your bank account to be in the top 5%. And I thought maybe it was kind of a popular thing to try to understand now, like where you sit in the world, like where does your financial situation sit among others? Like it seems to me, like by seeing all that stuff in my feed all the time, that there's definitely a drive for people to kind of do a little bit of comparison. And I wanted to share a little bit of an unpopular opinion today on one way that I really tend to compare myself to others when I'm just out in the world, performing errands and doing the things that I need to do on a regular basis. And one thing that I notice is that the people who clearly have money enough to like really feel comfortable in their own skin, right? Like they might describe themselves as rich, they might describe themselves as comfortable, like whatever the wording is that they actually end up using. The way that I watch them move through the world is with lack of speed. It's with slowness. There's like a steadiness and a calm pace to what those people do in their lives. And I'm going to use an example of like being out on the freeway, right? We're all in our cars, like we're all in these like big metal boxes that technically could kill somebody. Like we're all in our own space. We've got our own music on, our own podcast, or maybe we're like on a phone call. We're enclosed in this space. We feel alone inside our own car, especially if there's nobody else in it with us. And what I've started to notice over the last several years, and I'm sure we've all noticed this, right, is that there's just a lot of selfishness that happens out on the road of with people, right? Like you're in my lane, you're in my way. This traffic is messing up my timing. And I don't think we realize like if we would just slow it down for a minute and really think about it, like I'm a part of that traffic. I'm a part of the slowdown. I'm in someone else's way too. I'm contributing to this. So for me to be angry and have road rage and blame it on everybody else around me who's feeling the same way just seems a little bit silly. And then every once in a while, I will see some fancy car come out of nowhere, like a Ferrari or a McLaren or someone in their like really fancy Porsche Carrera, and they're just cruising. They're just taking their time. They have a different pace of life. And I've really started to pay attention to this because there's an element of like everything that we do. I saw a post someone had the other day, like she was making this joke about herself like sweeping her own floors, right? And she said, it's crazy how I like do these simple errands and chores in my house as if I like have no time in the world and I'm like an angry crazy person. And so she like had this clip of her like sweeping the floors with like all this energy and so much speed, and then like had to calm herself and step back and be like, I'm actually going to do a better job if I slow it down. And I'm not going to be so stressed if I slow it down. And so I think there's an element of something that I've been really trying out in my own life too, of like, what if I just got in the car and cruised and actually drove the speed limit and didn't feel like I had to go 15 over? What if I left like 10 minutes earlier so that I knew I was still going to get there on time, but I wasn't going to be stressed about it? I wasn't going to stress about traffic. I was going to hang in whatever lane I found myself in. I was going to follow the speed limit. I wasn't going to like be tailgating anybody. Nobody was going to make me angry. I was just going to chill. And I will say the level of like happiness and calm and stress-free days that I have in my life now by observing everything that I do from that lens is remarkable. So if you're looking for like tips and tricks on how to like maybe behave like the rich do or like the really wealthy do, I really encourage you to think about slowing your roll. Like really slow things down for yourself. Like when you are rushing through doing the dishes after dinner, like take a beat and be like, would I really hate doing the dishes if I would just take my time and do it right the first time and like get things in the dishwasher in the way that I want And everyone else can manage themselves for a little while. Like the kids are probably watching something or reading something. Maybe they're doing their homework. Like let them be. Let them be doing that thing. And if someone comes up to me and says, I need something right now, you can say, well, I'm doing the dishes right now, and it's going to take me another 15 to 20 minutes. I don't know. I mean, maybe that doesn't work in your household, and that's totally fine. And I am not the expert on how everybody's lives are. All I'm saying is that in my own life, when I've slowed down my process of doing dishes, when I've slowed down my process of cleaning the house and not trying to do it as fast as I possibly can, when I've slowed down the process of getting in my car and driving somewhere or going grocery shopping or folding the laundry, even like when I slow it down and do it at a pace that doesn't feel like, oh my God, I got to get this done right now, I have to get to the next thing. Like it changes everything. And it's this idea around simplifying. Simplify your life, simplify your business, simplify your finances. All of those are the tips and tricks that the wealthy and the rich are using on a regular basis to strip out the stuff from their life that doesn't make sense for them. And that includes stress and burnout and hurrying. And it allows them to focus on the simple, only things that they need to do to make their life better. So now you've slowed things down. Maybe you lost 2 minutes. Oh my goodness, you lost 2 minutes because you slowed things down, but you're in a much better mood. You are not nearly as stressed as you have ever been. If you left 10 minutes early and kind of slow rolled in traffic and you didn't get mad at anybody, you didn't tailgate anybody, you weren't honking your horn at anybody, you weren't screaming in your car at anybody, is your blood pressure a little bit lower? Do you feel a little bit better? These are the kinds of things that I'm noticing in my life. And these are the kinds of things that are helping me understand where I can put my effort, my time, and my new positive attitude into growing my business, into figuring out how to reach more people, into figuring out how to make more sales and find more clients and find more customers and serve them better and better and better. Because now my life is also better and better and better because I've slowed it down. So I challenge you today to think about a couple different things that you could maybe slow down in your life. And again, I don't know your life. I'm only here to tell you my own human experience. This is what I am experiencing as a human on this planet in a time when there is stress coming from everywhere. Everything feels hard some days. And so what am I doing to figure out how to get through that and to figure out how to continue bettering my life? I'm slowing things down. I'm taking my time. Last night I went to do the dishes and I usually rush through it in about 5 minutes so that I can make sure I get back to whatever it is that my husband needs. Well, I told him last night, I'm going to take a good 15 minutes and I'm going to do this slowly. You can figure yourself out for 15 minutes. You can come help me with the grocery or with the dishes for 15 minutes. If you want it done faster, you can come help me. I don't mind doing it by myself. That's not a problem. I am not going to complain about it. I actually am very picky about how I do the dishes. And so I've set myself up for that, right? But I'm just going to go slow. I'm not going to rush through it. I'm not going to crack the dishes on the side of the countertop anymore because I'm trying to pack the dishwasher so fast. I'm not going to burn myself with the water because I'm not paying attention because I'm trying to go so fast. I am going to take my time. And I think if my feed and what people are paying attention to is any indicator, it could be worth you exploring too, because if you want to be comparing yourself to others when it comes to money, why not compare it to them when it comes to their attitude? Their attitude is to walk through life in a happy and calm and adjusted way. And I know we all have our problems, right? Like we all have a lot of mental health issues going on right now. I'm not saying I don't have those. I still see my therapist every other week. And that is a necessity. And I love her and I will probably never leave her. But at the same time, like, this is helping me a lot. So anyway, I just wanted to challenge you today. I know this wasn't really about money, but it kind of prompted me when I was looking at some of those kinds of feed prompts that were coming through to me. And it made me think about you. It made me think about everybody around me who I am watching like race through the grocery store or just do everything at such a speed that I don't know if it's necessary. I don't know if it's necessary. And is it helping you or is it hurting you? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Your life is your own, but I can tell you that I was hurting myself in my life by trying to rush through everything and trying to do everything so quickly. So I'm going to slow it down and simplify. And if you want to join me, I would love to hear from you and let me know how it's going. If you decide to slow one thing down, send me a comment. Let me know what's that changed for you. Maybe it's been a negative. Maybe you slowed things down and all of a sudden you're late to everything and it's terrible and you'll never do that ever again. I'd love to hear it. Let me know. All right. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I will see you next Monday for another episode of Money Mondays. Have a great week ahead and talk to you soon.